Hey, boys and girls. It's time for Uncle Jay Explains the News. Now here's the guy who helps little minds understand big news stories, Uncle Jay.
Hi, boys and girls. Well, before we start, and I guess this is going to be a regular feature for a while, it's Uncle Jay's Chinese toy warning of the week. Do not lick your SpongeBob SquarePants address book or your Boeing 737 jet. Also, do not fly your jet to Greece this week. Okay, now it's time for Uncle Jay's news word for this week, judgment. Judgment is not just about judges. It doesn't mean sentencing a person to 1 day in jail or 82 minutes in jail or 60 minutes of torture in violation of the Geneva Convention. No, anytime you're trying to figure out the right thing to do, you're using your judgment. And in the news, that can be a tricky thing. For instance, there are some people who think that Michael Vick's dogfighting problem is overblown, that dogfighting isn't all that different from hunting. And maybe that's true if hunting means forcing animals to kill each other and betting on the outcome and drowning or hanging or electrocuting the ones that don't measure up. I don't remember that chapter being in Ted Nugent's book. I'll have to steal that from the bookstore again and find out. Okay, well, another example of judgment is your parents trying to decide if you should see the movie SuperBad because it's rated R. And that means that the only people allowed in the theater who are under 17 are the ones on the screen, plus the ones who buy tickets to Underdog and then go into the bathroom and then come, that's okay. If Hollywood would just combine the raunchy and the wholesome, they would probably make a lot more money. Well, one more story was somebody's decision to publish a study about the sex lives of older people. The only thing worse than realizing what your parents might still be doing is realizing that your grandparents might, let's move on. Yeah, it's definitely time for Uncle Jay to answer one of your news questions. This week it comes from Judy in Blanchester. Hi, Judy. Judy writes, Dear Uncle Jay, why did I have to read a book over the summer and write a book report for my first week of school? I'll never have to do that when I grow up, will I? Thanks, Judy. Well, actually, you might. In fact, right now there's a very important report being written by a very important general. Now, it's a little different than school. In school, you write a report on a book that you pretend you read, and the teacher evaluates it. In this case, the general writes a report on something he really did do, and it's the president who pretends to evaluate it. But just like you, the general will get promoted. Well, boys and girls, send your news questions to Uncle Jay at UncleJayExplains.com. Next week is Labor Day. I'm going to take the week off, just like Jon Stewart. So we'll get together again in 2 weeks. Until then, remember, a good kid is good news.